NATO defense ministers arrived at alliance headquarters in Brussels Thursday to discuss the way forward in Afghanistan. That includes U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta's surprise announcement on his aircraft Wednesday night that the United States plans to end its combat role next year.
Our goal is to complete all of that transition in 2013, and then hopefully by mid to the latter part of 2013, we'll be able to make a transition from a combat role to a training, advice, and assist role.
NATO had planned to hand over full security responsibility to Afghanistan a year later at the end of 2014. But last week, President Nicolas Sarkozy said France will withdraw its troops by the end of next year. Preparing Afghan troops to take full security responsibility even by the end of 2014 was always going to be a challenge. NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen told VOA after the French announcement, but before Secretary Panetta's statement, that much of the transition was already planned for 2013.
Within that overall roadmap, the fact is that by mid-2013, we will have handed over all provinces to lead Afghan responsibility. And from that time on, you will see a gradual change of the role of our troops from combat to support.
Still, in military terminology, there's a difference between lead responsibility and full responsibility. Dana Allen of London's International Institute for Strategic Studies says Panetta's remarks were not a surprise.
This is, in a sense, filling in a few of the details of a longer-term aspiration that was already expressed. There's a degree of ambiguity about what it means not to be in a combat role in Afghanistan. U.S. troops are still going to be there. The line between training and advising and fighting, actually fighting, is not always an entirely clear one.
But other experts are concerned about an early end to the Allied combat role. Giles Merritt is the director of the Brussels think tank Security and Defense Agenda.
We're likely to shoot ourselves in the foot by leaving prematurely. As you say, it's a high-risk strategy in the first place. And I think there's a general feeling that we keep that risk within bounds by remaining solidaire with each other.
The Taliban continues to carry out deadly attacks in Afghanistan like this one in January. A secret U.S. military report leaked to the British media this week says the Taliban is stronger than Western officials acknowledge. If true, that will present even more challenges for the Afghan security forces and their international partners in 2013, 2014, and beyond. Pessin, VOA News, London.